Merhaba! Quick catch up if you're new here. Some weeks ago, I herniated a disc doing backflips barefoot on hard floor and lost feeling in my legs. I'm rebuilding slowly and this is how it's going. I wasn't fully transparent on how bad it had gotten because I felt very ashamed of getting hurt in a very stubborn way. And I also didn't know how much of what I'm sharing is valuable and how much is oversharing. But I do know that what I went through, many others have gone through it or are going through it, and it's very important to not feel alone. I remember when I started sharing online what happened, and I had so many different girls like reach out and tell me like, hey, I've gone through the same, or this just happened to me. It felt so good to feel accompanied, and there were things I could share with them that only they could understand because they're going through the same thing. I did feel very ashamed. I was very humbled in all of this. It's okay to have your spouse or a family member or a friend get you out of bed and literally sit you in the toilet. So this is the point of how bad it had gotten. I don't know how much of this is oversharing. Okay, maybe I'll just move on. You get the picture. Being there in a point where So going from being full-time in bed, depending on someone else for your legs, it's insane that I have gotten to doing handstands. And I did jump way ahead of my program, and I will talk about that because that was not okay. But it's a huge milestone and I'm very proud of myself for that one. Still, I learned a lot afterwards. That's like the biggest milestone of my life. It's, okay, maybe not that biggest milestone of my life, but it's a huge milestone, yeah. And many things played a part to get me to where I am now. Since day one, since the day I got hurt and I lost feeling in my legs at the gym, I remember I never, not once said, this is it. I'm never gonna move again. I've lost everything. That mindset never, not once passed through my head. The first thing I said was, I don't know how, but I'll get through this. Actually, it was not that. It was, I don't know how, but I'll walk out of the gym. Oops. Okay. And the thing is, words play a very big part in your life. What you say, what you repeat to yourself becomes your reality. And they play a very big part on your healing process. So whatever you repeat in your mind, it is your outcome. Be very, very wise on what you bring to the table. So at the start of it, we did joke a lot using the word handy. So every time I would be like, oh, now that I'm handy, can you pass me that? Oh, now that I'm handy, can you make my ponytail? Or he would say, oh, but now you're handy. Until I think it clicked on him first. He was the one that said, hey, we need to stop joking about that. Did not want to be handy for the rest of my life. I had to stop saying it and stop like believing that that was my reality. And it became pretty funny because every time we would catch each other saying that, we would be like, hey, stop it there. Stop it right there. No more of that. But as I was saying, by week 3, I was feeling so much better. Like I did not feel pain when I walked. Sitting was a huge thing also. At the end of it, like as the pain started to get better, I could stand for a while. I would just feel like extreme soreness on my lower back. But if I sat, I would still feel the burning pain and my legs turning off. The fact that by week 3, I had none of those symptoms, I did a handstand. No one's taking that one away from me. I was so proud of myself. However, I did realize why it's not there yet and why I need to go slowly if I don't want to end up at square one. Since I was feeling better, I decided it was time to start exploring different ranges and seeing what my body could handle without pain. I went training outside in a beautiful spot surrounded by nature and a very, very noisy cars. You guys are not gonna hear that because I'm gonna put beautiful sound in the background. I can't explain the feeling of going from being in bed, having someone else be my legs, to moving freely. I was moving, I could explore ranges again, I could have a bit of fun, and that just, it's priceless. And that's when the idea popped in my head. I said, what if I do a handstand? I did it. It went really well with my left, and then when I tried it with the right side, the pain snapped. Usually the right side is my dominant side. What had happened is that when I was doing the backflip, most of the load got in the right side. So almost all the impact got absorbed by the right side before the left side hit. It made sense that this is gonna take a bit longer to heal. And the thing is, even though I was feeling better, the way out of an injury requires a lot of patience. It's something I need to work on. Even though I am so electric and I love moving, being able to walk has no price. I know it's gonna take some time to heal and get back to where I was. So I just need to be patient. That's what I keep reminding myself. I think that's the correct way to say it. And you know what's a few weeks of slow movement compared to being a crazy monkey for the rest of my life? Forgot to tell you, I also got to go on a small hike and ate some really good rice and beans at the farmer's market. By 45 minutes, I could start feeling some flare-ups, so I did have to sit down and rest a bit before I kept going. But I got to be in nature in the mountains. You guys have no idea how much I love nature. Right now I'm living in the city. Even though I'm in Costa Rica, I'm living in the city. All of this has tested my patience in different ways, not just movement, but I've also needed to learn how to do content in different ways. And it is a very valuable lesson. Also, as I was saying, getting smarter and making content. The kind of content I used to do, I could not do anymore because my body can't go into those positions yet. I've been trying to explain a lot of things that I used to explain with movement just by speaking, and that has it has created it has built so much creativity because I've had to figure it out. And I've also learned, even though I thought that maybe content-wise this was it, I did not think it injury-wise, but I did think it content-wise. I was like, oh, this is it, I don't know what to do. But recently I got an amazing client, and when I was speaking with her, I usually ask oh, what made you be here now? And she was like, I honestly had been struggling so much finding a coach because no one understands what it's like to be injured, and usually they make you push through that. And she's like, we might not have the same injuries, but she's gonna understand what it's like to be injured and not gonna make me push through that pain. I'll keep learning. If you want to keep supporting, please like, share, follow, everything you can do in here. It really does help a lot. My idea is getting better and stronger than how I was before. If you want to see that and understand the steps I'm taking to get there, please follow along. And I'll update next Sunday. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. I forgot to say that. I'm learning. Yalla, bye bye.